outraged.
In 2017, DeKalb police officer Philip Larshad caught on camera beating a homeless woman with a baton.
Hey! Whoa, sir, come down!
Stop! I said something wrong!
I want to be very clear. We take this very seriously.
This disturbing incident of racial profiling occurred when an African-American couple, along with their children, were stopped by police officers due to a shoplifting complaint. A bystander recorded the incident on video, and it quickly spread on social media, causing widespread anger and outrage throughout the country. In May 2019, a manager at a Family Dollar store called the police to report a possible shoplifting incident involving a couple and their children. The parents had no idea that their 4-year-old daughter, Island Drake, had taken a doll without paying for it. Store employees had tipped off the police, who later found the family's car about a mile away from the store. What happened next is truly shocking. Video footage captured the moment when officers confronted the parents, Drayvon Ames and Aisha Harper, along with their 2 children. In the heartbreaking video, one of the officers, Christopher Meyer, can be heard threatening to harm Mr. Ames by putting a cap on his head.
Hey! Whoa, sir, come down!
The officer continued to threaten Mr. Ames and forced him out of the car, pushing him against the pavement and handcuffing him. Then, the officer pushed him against a police vehicle. The most disturbing part of the video shows another officer pointing his firearm at the car as the couple's 4-year-old daughter came out from the back seat, followed by a pregnant Miss Harper carrying her 1-year-old daughter. An officer yelled at her to put the child on the ground and attempted to grab her arm. According to the police, the parents were slow to comply, yelling at the officers and making movements that seemed like they might be reaching for weapons. However, the couple disputes this account, claiming that one of the officers pushed Mr. Ames's head onto the hot pavement, threw him against the car, kicked him in the leg so hard that he collapsed, and punched him in the back, despite him following their orders. The video of this incident has sparked outrage and led to protests in Phoenix and across the country. Many people are demanding justice and accountability for the officers involved. Finally, the Phoenix Police Department responded to these calls and announced that they have fired Christopher Meyer. Chief Jerry Williams made the decision and stated that Meyer's actions had negative consequences for both the Phoenix Police Department and the community. Another officer involved in the same incident received a written reprimand. Chief Williams emphasized that such behavior from officers is unacceptable, and he expects them to show respect, professionalism, and compassion in every situation they encounter. Aisha Harper and Drayvon Ames filed a civil rights lawsuit seeking $10 million in response to this traumatizing incident. Ames expressed that there is no justification for what happened to them, and he's deeply concerned about the impact on his 4-year-old daughter, who hasn't been the same since the incident. The Phoenix City Council approved a settlement of $475,000 for the couple to address the abuses they suffered. We rely on the police force to protect and help us when we're in need. However, incidents like these erode the public's trust in law enforcement, which is regrettably not uncommon. Fortunately, police departments are taking steps to address these issues and promote de-escalation tactics to prevent such incidents in the future.
Outraged.
In 2017, DeKalb police officer Philip Larshad caught on camera beating a homeless woman with a baton.
In 2017, Philip Larshad, a former police officer who had been named the DeKalb County's Officer of the Year, was accused of assaulting a homeless woman with his baton. The incident took place when officers were called to a convenience store on Glenwood Road in response to a complaint about a homeless woman soliciting customers inside the store. When the police arrived, they encountered Katie McCrary, whom they said was uncooperative and not following their commands. Larshad was the officer who used his baton in an attempt to restrain and arrest McCrary. He justified his actions by claiming that he was acting within the scope of his duties as a police officer. Initially, Larshad was exonerated of any wrongdoing during an internal investigation. However, everything changed when a video of the incident surfaced on the internet. The video clearly showed Larshad repeatedly striking McCrary with his baton while she was lying defenseless on the floor, desperately trying to shield herself from the barrage of blows.
It's when that video went viral that people all over the country were really expressing
The video had a significant impact, leading the DeKalb County Police Department to reopen the case a month later. As a result of the investigation, Larscheid was eventually indicted for aggravated assault and violation of oath of office. McCrary, the homeless woman involved in the incident, was taken into custody and brought to the county jail. However, due to her injuries, she was not admitted and was instead sent to Gray Memorial Hospital for treatment. Before this incident, McCrary had a history of being arrested at least 7 times in DeKalb, mostly on drug and prostitution charges, as stated by one of her relatives. She also faces mental health struggles, which add to the complexities of the situation. McCrary's attorney, Glenda Hatchett, revealed that her client is still experiencing both physical and severe emotional trauma from the encounter with Larscheid. The DeKalb County Police Department decided not to dismiss Larscheid from his job, but he was placed on clerical duty since July 2017. In response to the incident, McCrary herself was charged with obstructing or hindering law enforcement officers. However, District Attorney Sherry Boston stated that her office does not intend to pursue those charges against McCrary, considering the ongoing investigation into Larscheid's actions.
Collected, we felt that we had enough evidence to present that to the grand jury.
District Attorney Boston explained that she ran for her position to build trust between law enforcement and the community. On July 26, 2017, a shocking incident occurred at Salt Lake City University Hospital in Utah. An unconscious patient, 43-year-old William Gray, was brought in after being involved in a deadly car crash in Cache County. Alex Wubbles, a nurse at the hospital since 2009, was working in the burn unit when the patient arrived. Little did she know that the situation was about to take a disturbing turn. Detective Jeff Payne arrived at the hospital with the intention of drawing the patient's blood to check for any chemical substances in his system. He demanded that Nurse Wubbles draw the sedated patient's blood for his investigation. However, Wubbles refused to comply. Why? Because Officer Payne had neither a warrant nor the unconscious patient's consent, and the patient was not under arrest. For the nurse to assist Payne, one of these 3 conditions needed to be met. Detective Payne was not happy with the refusal. He began to threaten Wubbles, stating that he would arrest her if she didn't provide the blood sample. He even accused her of interfering with a criminal investigation. "If I don't get the blood, I'm taking her to jail," Payne said. "I either go away with blood in vials or body in tow. That's my only 2 choices." Wubbles tried to reason with Payne, but he wouldn't listen. During their confrontation, Payne had her boss, Brad Wiggins, on speakerphone, who also warned him that threatening a nurse was a serious mistake. However, the officer was not interested in listening to reason and decided to take Wubbles into custody. The situation escalated rapidly, and Wubbles found herself screaming and crying for help as she was forcefully pushed out of the hospital.
Stop! I've done nothing wrong!
After being thrown against a wall and handcuffed, hospital staff tried to reason with Payne, but he showed no concern. Wubbles was detained for about 20 minutes before being released without any charges. The entire incident was captured on Payne's body camera and the hospital's surveillance cameras. Later, thanks to Wubbles' lawyer, Kara J. Porter, the footage was made public. On September 13th, Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski initiated an internal affairs investigation, which revealed that Payne had violated several department policies during his interaction with Wubbles. The city's Independent Police Civilian Review Board also confirmed the officer's violation of department policies. Mayor Biskupski expressed concern over this incident, as efforts were being made to encourage police to utilize de-escalation techniques. In response to the situation, Police Chief Mike Brown took swift action and fired Payne on October 10th. He emphasized the seriousness of the matter in a statement, stating, "I want to be clear, we take this very seriously."
I want to be very clear. We take this very seriously.
Within 24 hours of the incident, the Salt Lake City Police Department took immediate measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. As a result of the incident, Wubbles received a settlement of $500,000 for the ordeal she had endured. However, she didn't stop there. She used a portion of the settlement money to advocate for nurses and support other victims by helping them obtain body camera footage of incidents involving them. In her own words, Wubbles emphasized the importance of truth and transparency. She stated, "We all deserve to know the truth, and the truth comes when you see the actual raw footage, and that's what happened in my case. No matter how truthfully I told my story, it couldn't compare to what people saw and the powerful reaction they experienced when watching the footage of what I went through." Additionally, Woobles committed to making a donation to the Utah Nurses Association and actively leading the End Nurse Abuse campaign, initiated by the American Nurses Association. Her determination to create positive change and support her fellow nurses has been inspiring and impactful.